Cornerback, CB, the Island Warriors. Cornerbacks line up on the outside edges, wearing numbers 049 since the NFL relaxed jersey rules in 2021. They align directly across from wide receivers. Their assignment is simple but brutal. Shadow the receiver and prevent completions. There are two main coverage styles. Press coverage means lining up within 1 yard, jamming the receiver at the line to disrupt timing. Off coverage gives a 5 to 10 yard cushion, sacrificing short throws to prevent deep bombs. Elite shutdown corners like Sauce Gardner wearing number 1 or Jalen Ramsey playman coverage on an island, meaning minimal help from safeties in cover 1 situations. They ideally run 4.4 speed or faster, though elite corners like Richard Sherman succeeded at 4.5 with length and anticipation. Quick hips to mirror cuts and the guts to turn their back to the quarterback while tracking receivers are essential. Corners read the receiver's eyes and hips, not their head fakes. In zone coverage, corners guard areas instead of players, watching the quarterback's eyes to jump routes. The best corners study film obsessively, learning receiver tendencies. Does this guy stutter step before breaking? Does he look back early on deep routes? Corners also need short-term memory, forgetting blown coverages instantly. One mistake and you're on SportsCenter's lowlights. But corners don't work alone. They've got a deep safety watching their back. Free safety, FS, the center fielder. The free safety is the deepest defender, positioned 12 to 15 yards off the line in the middle of the field. His jersey number ranges from 0-49 under current NFL rules. Unlike corners assigned to specific receivers, the free safety roams free, reading the quarterback's eyes and shoulder rotation to anticipate throws. He's the eraser for blown coverages. When a corner gets beat deep, the free safety sprints over for the tackle or interception. Ed Reed mastered this, recording 64 career interceptions by studying quarterback tendencies on film. Free safeties need elite closing speed to cover sideline to sideline, often running 40-50 yards per play. They process information faster than anyone, reading offensive formations pre-snap to predict routes. Trips formation to the right, expect a deep post or corner route. In cover 1, the free safety plays single high, responsible for the entire deep middle. In cover 2, he splits deep responsibilities with the strong safety. The key skill, ball tracking. Free safeties must locate the ball in flight while sprinting full speed, then time their jump perfectly. Miss by 6 inches and it's a touchdown. But who handles the physical stuff near the line? Strong safety, SS, as the enforcer. Strong safeties line up 8 to 12 yards deep on the strong side, the side with more offensive players or the tight end. They're typically 200-220 pounds, bigger than free safeties and corners because they're hybrid players doing 2 jobs. Run support means attacking downhill to stop running backs, taking on 300-pound offensive linemen. Coverage means man-to-man on tight ends or zone drops. Troy Polamalu perfected this duality, recording 32 interceptions while delivering bone-crushing hits. Strong safeties read run-pass keys pre-snap. Tight end in a 3-point stance, probably run, so creep closer. Tight end standing up, likely pass, so prepare for coverage. In cover 3, strong safeties rotate down to cover the flat, stopping quick outs and screens. They also blitz, shooting gaps to sack quarterbacks. Cam Chancellor at 6'3", 232 pounds exemplified the modern strong safety, physical enough to pancake running backs but athletic enough to cover receivers. The position requires tackling technique, wrapping up ball carriers in traffic, and the mentality to deliver punishment. Strong safeties cause fumbles through big hits. Now, these 3 positions, 2 corners and 2 safeties, are base defense, but offenses evolved, forcing defenses to add more defensive backs. If you're enjoying this breakdown, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future football breakdowns. Nickelback, not the band. The Nickelback is the 5th defensive back, entering when offenses use 3 or more receivers. Named because a nickel equals 5 cents, this position dominates modern football. NFL teams now use nickel packages on 60-70% of snaps because offenses pass 55-60% of the time. The Nickelback's primary assignment is the slot receiver, who lines up between the tackle and outside receiver. Slot receivers run different routes, slants, drags, crosses, quick outs, all designed to exploit the traffic and pick plays in the middle. Nickelbacks need quickness over pure speed, typically running 4.5-4.6 40s versus corners at 4.4. They play tighter coverage because slots work in condensed space. Film study is crucial, learning slot tendencies. Does this receiver favor inside or outside breaks? Does he run choice routes reading coverage? In zone coverage, Nickelbacks handle the intermediate middle, the 10-15 yard range where most third down conversions occur. They also blitz, typically off the edge through the C-gap since they're already aligned outside the tackle, though safeties more commonly shoot A-gap blitzes. Teams often use their best tackler at nickel because slot receivers catch 8 to 12 targets per game in modern offenses. When offenses go even more pass-heavy, defenses counter with a sixth defensive back, Dimeback, the sixth man. Dime package deploys 6 defensive backs, removing a second linebacker for pass coverage. Named after 10 cents, not 6, it's used in obvious passing situations, 3rd and 7+, 2-minute drills, or when offenses spread 4 or 5 receivers. The 6th DB is typically a third cornerback or hybrid safety who can run. Dime formations sacrifice run defense, often leaving just 1 linebacker and 4 down linemen, sometimes only 3 rushers. This creates vulnerabilities. Smart offenses exploit dime with draw plays, where the running back fakes blocking, then takes a delayed handoff through the vacated middle. Dime coverage involves various schemes. Cover 6 is a popular hybrid where one side plays cover 2, a safety and corner splitting half the field, while the other side plays cover 4 quarters with the corner and safety each taking a quarter. This combination, 2 + 4 = 6, gives the coverage its name. The dimeback often takes the second slot receiver or covers running backs on routes. Dime packages appear in 30–40% of third downs in the NFL. Teams practice specific dime blitzes, sending corners or safeties while dropping linemen into coverage to confuse quarterbacks. The evolution continues. Some situations demand 7 defensive backs, creating the rarest package. Quarter package, the Magnificent 7. Quarter package fields 7 defensive backs used exclusively in desperation prevent defense or Hail Mary situations. Continuing the currency theme after nickel and dime, the quarter represents 25 cents, though it fields 7 DBs, not 4. You'll see this maybe 5–10 times per season. Final plays of halves when offenses need 40+ yards. Defenses remove all linebackers, often playing just 2 or 3 down linemen. All 7 DBs play deep, typically in a 3-deep zone with 4 underneath, or straight prevent with everyone 20+ yards deep. The strategy prioritizes preventing touchdowns over everything else. Give up 20 yards underneath? Fine. Just keep everyone in front and tackle. The 2015 Packers-Lions game showed quarter packages risk. Detroit had no timeouts, needing a touchdown with zeros on the clock. Green Bay deployed 7 DBs in the end zone. Aaron Rodgers threw a Hail Mary. Richard Rodgers caught it for the win. Quarter packages also appear in 2-point conversion defenses when offenses spread 5 receivers. The formation looks bizarre, sometimes 7 DBs, 2 linemen, 2 edge rushers. One run play could gain 40 yards, but teams accept this risk in must-pass situations. Now, there's an 8th aspect of DB play that confuses people: the specialized slot coverage role. Slot corner, the inside specialist role. Slot corner is the specialized role Nickelbacks play when covering inside receivers, requiring a distinct skill set from outside cornerback play. While Nickelback refers to being the 5th DB on the field, slot corner describes what that player actually does when lining up inside, in the area between tackles and outside receivers. This distinction matters because the job differs dramatically from outside coverage. Slot corners face unique challenges operating in traffic with linebackers, safeties, and defensive linemen nearby. Slot receivers run, rub routes, and picks, using teammates as obstacles to create separation. Slot corners need exceptional awareness to navigate this congestion while tracking their man. Route recognition matters more here than outside. Slot receivers run option routes, changing direction based on coverage. Cover 2, they break inside. Man coverage, they break outside. Slot corners must recognize these reads instantly. Physical traits differ from outside corners. Slot specialists are often 5.9 to 6'0", shorter but quicker in tight spaces. They need elite short area quickness, measured by 3-cone drill times under 6.8 seconds. Tackling is mandatory because slots catch 70% of targets versus 55% for outside receivers. In the NFL, players like Bryce Callahan or Taron Johnson specialize in this slot role full-time. They also handle gadget plays, jet sweeps, bubble screens, and receiver reverses. Understanding these specialized roles reveals complexity, but defenses constantly disguise assignments. The confusion factor when DBs switch roles. Defenses disguise positions to confuse quarterbacks through pre-snap movement and post-snap rotation. A strong safety might align in the box at 8 yards, showing run support. At the snap, he bails into deep half coverage while the free safety rotates down. This is cover 2 robber. Quarterbacks read pre-snap alignment to predict coverage, so defenses lie. They'll show 2 high safeties suggesting cover 2, then rotate to single high cover 3 after the snap. Linebackers drop into coverage while corners blitz, inverting expected assignments. Modern hybrid defenders accelerate this confusion. Jamal Adams played strong safety, linebacker, edge rusher, and even defensive tackle on different snaps. Derwin James covers tight ends, blitzes, and plays deep safety within one game. These positionless players render traditional labels obsolete. Defenses also use pattern matching, starting in zone but switching to man when routes develop. A corner might begin in cover 3, but if a receiver crosses into his zone, he mans up and follows. This disguises man coverage as zone pre-snap. Offenses counter with motion, forcing defenses to reveal coverage through adjustments. But understanding how these 8 positions collaborate in coverage schemes unlocks deeper football knowledge. How they work together, Synthema inspire the symphony. Defensive backs execute coverage schemes that dictate their responsibilities. In man coverage, each DB shadows one receiver everywhere, called man-to-man or cover 0 when combined with 0 deep help. Cover 1 adds a single free safety deep while others play man. DBs must maintain inside leverage, forcing receivers outside where the sideline becomes an extra defender. They use techniques like trail technique, staying on the receiver's hip, or press bail, jamming then running with the receiver. Zone coverage divides the field into areas. Cover 2 splits deep coverage between 2 safeties, each protecting half. 5 underneath defenders guard short zones. Cover 3 uses 3 deep defenders, typically corners on outside thirds, and a safety in the middle third with 4 underneath. Cover 4 or quarters plays 4 deep, both safeties and both corners splitting the field into fourths. Zone defenders read the quarterback's eyes and break on throws, playing pass first, run second. Pattern matching combines zone and man. DBs start in zones but match receivers who enter, basically man coverage disguised as zone. This handles route combinations like mesh concepts where receivers cross. Communication is critical. DBs call out formations, route combinations, and potential picks, adjusting coverage pre-snap and during plays. Spotting these formations live requires specific knowledge. How to spot them during games. Identifying defensive backs live requires reading pre-snap alignment and formation structure. Since 2021, DBs wear numbers 0-49. With stars like Sauce Gardner in number 1, corners line up widest, usually 5-10 yards from sidelines. The deepest defender in the middle is the free safety, positioned 12-15 yards deep, splitting the field. The strong safety aligns toward the tight end side or the field's strong side, 8-12 yards deep. Count total DBs to identify packages. 4 DBs equals base 4-3 or 3-4 defense. 5 DBs with 1 linebacker removed is nickel, the most common package on third downs. 6 DBs is dime, usually on third and long. 7 DBs appears only in prevent situations. Watch pre-snap motion for coverage tells. If a safety follows a receiver in motion, it's likely man coverage. If defenders pass off the motion receiver, it's zone. 2 high safeties usually indicate cover 2, cover 4, or cover 6. Single high suggests cover 1 or cover 3, though defenses disguise by rotating post-snap. Body language reveals roles. Corners turned sideways in press are playing man. Corners facing the quarterback are in zone, reading his eyes. Safeties creeping toward the line signal blitz or run support. Use broadcast angles, especially the All-22 film view available on NFL Game Pass, showing all 22 players simultaneously. This exposes formation and coverage clearly. Madden players recognize these faster through game experience, Madden versus real life. Madden NFL simulates defensive back positions with reasonable accuracy, but simplifies the mental game. The video game includes all DB packages, nickel, dime, and quarter with correct alignments. Coverage assignments execute automatically when you select plays like cover 2 man or cover 3 buzz. This teaches basic concepts, what coverage counters which offensive formation, when to use nickel versus dime. However, Madden eliminates film study. The 20-plus hours per week NFL DBs spend learning opponent tendencies. Real corners know if a receiver favors inside breaks on sluggo routes or looks back early on 9 routes. Madden's attributes simplify this to speed, man coverage, and zone coverage ratings. A 99 speed corner recovers from mistakes unrealistically. In reality, one wrong step means 6 points. Madden's play recognition stat attempts to simulate football IQ but can't replicate reading a quarterback's shoulder turn or recognizing route combinations pre-snap. The game does teach package usage. Facing 4 wide, call nickel or dime. Long yardage situations, use dime or quarter. Goal line situations, you actually swap DBs for heavy defensive linemen and linebackers to stop the run. Understanding real football improves Madden strategy. You'll recognize when opponents run mesh concepts requiring match coverage, or when to audible from cover 2 to cover 4 against vertical threats. Madden's Skills Trainer mode actually teaches coverage responsibilities effectively, showing zone drops and man techniques visually.